It's day 8, which is absolutely brilliant. We've done a whole week. I do have to say, last night was probably one of the most uncomfortable nights' sleep I've ever had. In my room, it was 29 degrees C with no air conditioning. I had a fan on that did nothing. And, oh man, it's so uncomfortable. Outside now is actually cooler than it is in the house because it's still got loads of residual heat from yesterday. So I've got doors and windows open all over trying to get it to cool down. The time is 6:35. I wasn't planning on being up quite so early. I've actually been up for probably about 10-20 minutes already, just sort of pulling myself together. And it's time to check out how we did yesterday. So according to the Fitbit, we did nearly 10,000 steps yesterday, which is amazing considering I'd barely moved in the afternoon at all. We burnt 3,600 calories and were in the zone for 64 minutes. Apparently, I got 6.5 hours worth of sleep as well, but considering I went to bed at 10 p.m. and didn't actually fall asleep until past midnight, the thing says I've had a good night's sleep, but I haven't had a good night's sleep. I think the thing is very wrong today.
You are still too heavy. Yeah, but it could be worse, mate.
We're still improving. I've lost a little bit more weight, another 0.6 pounds. My BMI's gone down a bit to the point where I'm no longer in the obesity scale, which is absolutely fantastic. And my body fat has gone down a little bit as well. Still not quite acceptable, but we're getting there, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased with how all of this is going. So much so that it's time to continue with week 2. And that means taking Nelly for a walk. But before I do that, I need coffee. I've had nothing this morning. I also need lots and lots of water. Oh, geez. I drank my own weight in water yesterday and I feel like I didn't drink enough. So this morning, not that I'm an expert or anything, but I want to talk about calories, because calories are basically energy, and you can measure how many calories you're consuming, and you can measure, if you've got like a tracker like this, relatively accurately, based on your movements and your heartbeat and everything else like that, how many calories you're burning every day. And a calorie deficit is when you're consuming less calories than you're burning, which is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm burning, on average, over this last week, somewhere between 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day. And I'm consuming probably around about 1,500 to, well, less than 2,000 calories a day. So that's quite a substantial deficit, which obviously means if you're consuming less than you're burning, then in order to burn the rest of those calories, they've got to come from somewhere, and that's coming from your body's reserves, your stores. Now, please do correct me if I'm wrong about all this in the comments, because I'm not an expert. I think I know what I'm talking about, but I might not do, so check all of this out. And I know calories are not the be all and end all of measuring, all of that sort of stuff. You got to look at your micronutrients or macronutrients or whatever they're called, and all of the other good stuff. But as a basic, easy way of looking at your intake and outtake, I think calories is a nice, easy one to understand. Now, the problem with a calorie deficit, well, as much as it's good for losing weight, is it does make you tired, because obviously you're using more calories than you're putting in, which means when it's run out of ones you put in, you're running on fumes effectively. Nelly, come here and put your lead on. Sorry, I don't know what I was saying then. I just interrupted Nelly finding one of her friends and having a good run about. Why didn't you get it on camera? Well, it's a bit rude, filming other people and their dogs, isn't it? So anyway, calorie deficit makes you tired. And it does, because I've done it before. I did it for a long time previously, a few years ago, and I did lose a lot of weight doing it, but I was always tired. So obviously, looking at the statistics over the last week, I didn't expect to lose as much weight as I have done, and I have been tired. Now, it's probably something to do with a combination of obviously the heat and the extra exercise and just not being used to it yet that's making me tired. But I'm wondering if I should maybe increase my calorie intake a little bit, so I'm not on quite such a deficit, just to stop me being quite so tired, because to be perfectly honest with you, again, maybe due to the heat, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit and do nothing, which is probably my body's response to being like, hey, you haven't had enough calories lately, so don't do anything. So as a result, I've come out for a longer dog walk today this morning. So yeah, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Should I keep it up and just, wait till I get used to it, which I will. It won't take too long to acclimatise, you know what I mean, to get used to it. Or should I bump my calories up a little bit and not be quite so tired? I've done it again. I've been so busy editing these vlogs that I've forgotten what time it is. Nelly, I know, I'm sorry. I'm late again. It's nearly 1 o'clock and we had no dinner. I'm sorry.
You want some dinner? Yeah, of course you want some dinner.
Oh, jeez. Now, obviously, before I have lunch, I need to go on a bike ride. And I fed Nelly, and I came out in the garden to play with her for a few minutes and let her have a wee. And I managed to throw a football on the roof. Jeez, I could probably get it through Oliver's bedroom. Oh, man. I don't know if that flat roof is safe to walk on. I've never been on it before. I think I'd be better off with ladders from downstairs. Getting off ladders down the stairs is tricky.
I see. Got it. You know, pitch it.
Now, the extreme heat of yesterday seems to have done me a bit of a favour because although it says it's 26 degrees outside, it actually feels pretty cool. It's overcast, there's a nice wind blowing, so that should mean the bike ride isn't too difficult. So let's do this. That was loads harder today. There's a not particularly strong wind, but a medium wind, and it was against me pretty much for the first half of that, which made the start very hard. Fortunately, it was behind me on the way back, so obviously that made coming back easy. But I went a bit further this time than I did the last time, and that was really hard. And now I'm having to come outside to cool down because it's actually much cooler outside, particularly with this wind, than it is inside. In the house it's still about 27 degrees, in the garden it's 21. So I need a shower and I need some lunch. I forgot about lunch. Oh geez, I need some lunch. See you in a bit. For lunch, I really want that, which is really tasty, and it's just what I fancy. However, there's no carbohydrates in it, so if I want to get through the rest of the day with some energy for like Nellie's walk and things like that, I'm going to have something with carbohydrates in it. So I picked another one of Joe Wick's recipes, which is a chicken with hash browns. It's a post-workout recipe, and if I get it right, it should look like that. I need to tidy up the kitchen because I've been a bit lazy after cooking the last couple of times. The kitchen's clean, and I'm not going to film making lunch today just because I think you've seen enough cooking montagey things. But I will just say that I've just poured coconut oil everywhere. Now, coconut oil is generally solid at room temperature. However, you can see in there it's like water. I just picked it up and opened it as normal, and it just spilt all over the side. So everything stinks of coconut now, which is quite a nice smell, to be fair. But yeah, be careful when it's hot indoors. Your coconut oil melts. Anyway, let's see if my cooking looks just like the recipe. Let's remind ourselves what the recipe says it should look like. I don't think I've done a bad job. My fritter could be better. My chicken's a lot browner than their chicken, but I think I pretty much nailed it. It's nearly 3 o'clock and it's live stream day, so that means it's time to relax and put my feet up. So I've made myself a cup of tea and I'm going to watch some season 3 of The Umbrella Academy because I started watching that yesterday and it's really good. I'm a little bit late in the day taking Nellie. It's nearly 5:30. She's had her dinner. I've not eaten yet, but I've been really stuck into this Umbrella Academy season 3. Where we walk, there's just tons and tons of bramble brushes. Don't know the official name for them, but they shouldn't be ripe yet. Like these ones here. They're not ripe. They're on the way, but I keep seeing spots of them where they're fully ripened. And they just shouldn't be yet, and it just shows you that this year has been so weird in terms of like the seasons being too hot or too cold, and I think it's just thrown everything off. So it's going to be an odd one. Well, I was going to do the recipe tonight, which was the midget spears, which is basically a asparagus with eggs and bacon, which is really nice. I've had it a few times before. It's absolutely beautiful. But I feel a bit guilty because my mum, when she came round the other day to see Oliver, she brought me round an experimental curry. Basically, she's trying to perfect her curry, and I have no idea what it's like. But if I don't eat it today, it's not going to be eatable, so I'm going to have that. So this could be interesting. I don't even know what's in it. It smells strong. Not like hot, but there's a real like perfumey smell coming off it. I'm not quite sure what that is. She said there's 2 types. There's basically half's one type, which I think one of them's a Thai curry, and the other half's something else. I'm not the biggest fan of Thai curries. I do like curry. Oh, that side's actually really tasty. That's gorgeous. Okay, good job, Mum. What about this side, which is, I don't even know what this is. Sludge. That side's actually really tasty as well, but very soft. Imagine when it first got cooked rather than being in my fridge and through the microwave. That was a lot better texture-wise. But yeah, both sides, incredibly tasty. Good job, Mum. Well done. I don't feel bad now. Guilt-free, although I did just call it sludge. I'm sure she'll forgive me for that one. It's 6:45. I should be getting ready for a stream right now, but I'm doing everything I can to find an excuse to not stream, which sounds really bad. It sounds awful, doesn't it? I want to, and I do enjoy doing it. I really enjoy streaming, and I know I haven't done many recently. Come on, excuses. Come on, good excuse. I'm so tired. It's too hot. The dog's asleep. The truth is, really selfish. The truth is, I'm really enjoying this Umbrella Academy season 3 that I've got 2 episodes left of, and I want to finish it. I shouldn't. I should stop because it's my job to do streaming. But I don't know if it's because I'm using all of my willpower to not have snacks and to exercise and to do all of these good things. I don't seem to find the willpower today to go and turn the computer on and get everything set up and ready and live stream when I just want to watch the telly, which is awful. That's a bad habit. It's a bad habit I need to break. So please do tell me off in the comments. So I guess just like everything else, I'll have to make it up to you. I'm sorry. I've got no excuse other than, I don't know, no excuse. I've got nothing. I'm bad. Sorry. But it's really good.